Hey guys, so welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I thought I would do my top 5 foundations for combination to oily skin, because now that it's summer I feel like I'm gravitating towards foundations that control oil more. Like naturally that's what I would do. So obviously most of the time I do wear matte foundations anyway because I do have combination skin, so that's nothing new. But now that it's summer, your foundation's more likely to not wear as well because of the heat. Although in London it's not too hot, the weather kind of varies. I basically share like my favourite foundations that I've been wearing recently and I think that are best for controlling oil and keeping you matte the longest. So I'm going to start from like my most favourite to like not my least, but like my favourites first. So I'm gonna first mention the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Foundation. Now this is like my favourite foundation ever. Like I love this foundation so much. Not only has it got good coverage, not only is the colour 290 like the perfect olive tone, because I have got olive skin, so it is hard to find a foundation that isn't too yellow but then not too orange as well. Like most foundations are either yellow or orange, so this is like got that green olive tint to it, so it doesn't make you look like a Simpson. Do you know how some foundations are so yellow you look like a Simpson? This is great. Like it's got great staying power as well. Like it is obviously a matte foundation, so it is gonna give you that matte finish and it's gonna last really well on the skin and give you good coverage at the same time. So this is like my go-to, like especially for nights out. This is like my go-to because it doesn't have any SPF in it either, so there's no flashback or anything like that. So this is like my all-time favorite foundation. I love this foundation so much. The next foundation I recently discovered, I only got this when the Too Faced Peach collection actually came to Debenhams, so it is quite recently, but I instantly just fell in love with it. Like it is amazing, and it is the Too Faced Peach Perfect Foundation. Now this foundation has been out in probably the US for a long time now, but it's only recently come to Debenhams now. So, and I've always wanted to try it. Like I've always wanted to try this foundation, and at first I didn't believe the hype, but now that I've tried it and I'm actually wearing it on my skin today. So this is basically a medium buildable foundation. I wouldn't say it's as full as a Fenty one. I feel like that gives you a lot more coverage, but this one controls oil so freaking well. Oh my god. And paired with the primer for this, it's amazing. Like it's really good. But even when you use this with a different primer, it still stays matte. Like it works so well on its own, and it's amazing. Like I wore this once for, I think, was it 10 hours? And usually, like, after a few hours of wearing foundation, like, even after about 5 hours, I would get oily in my T-zone. But this foundation was still matte. Like, there wasn't even a shine in sight. The only thing I would say is I found it a bit difficult to pick my shade. So I picked the shade Sand, and it is a good match, but I feel like it's a little bit on the peachy, and I think most of the shades in this line are quite on the peachy side. Not pink, not beige, but peach, if that makes sense. And obviously I can get away with it. Like once I've got all my makeup on, it looks fine. But another thing I love about it is it comes with 48 ml of product. I mean, what foundation comes with 48 mils? No foundation. The standard foundation is 30 ml. And the fact that this is, I think it was £27 for 48 ml, I think that is really, really, really good. And I really love this, and the smell is amazing. Like this foundation is a godsend for oily skin. So if you haven't tried it, try it right now. Okay, so the next one I'm going to mention is one that a lot of people have been talking about. So this is the Maybelline Superstay 24-hour full coverage foundation. Now this, I have like mixed feelings about this foundation. The reason being is, when I first put this on, it looks really good. Like, it's got amazing coverage, it dries matte, and it looks really good. However, this doesn't stay as matte as the other two I mentioned just now. But I do really love the way this looks. It looks really flawless on the skin. It covers really well. It's not, I wouldn't say it's the best for oil control, but it is quite good. You would still need to top this up with powder throughout the day when you do get shiny. It may not be the best and the most amazing for oily skin, but it does last. Like, it doesn't like slide off or rub off or anything like that. That's what I'm saying. I know a lot of foundations do that, but this one is really good for that, and I do see the hype with this. This is a really good drugstore foundation, and it is really good. It's a good alternative to the MAC Studio Fix Fluid. I think they're quite similar. So, and I was actually going to mention that in the video, but I thought I'm going to mention like half drugstore, half high-end foundations kind of thing. So I've got like a mixture of both. So the foundation I'm going to mention is from the Body Shop. Now this is the Body Shop Matte Clay Skin Clarifying Foundation. God, why this foundation's got such long names? This foundation is really, really good. It is very, very matte. So if you're in the UK, you can get this foundation. But if you're in the US and you're looking for an alternative, the L'Oreal Pro Matte Foundation is a very, very, very close dupe to this. Very, very close. I tried the L'Oreal Pro Matte, and that is also a really good foundation. However, we can't get the same shades they have in the US in the UK. So yeah, this is really good, and it also has tea tree in it. So if you're prone to blemishes as well, but yeah, it does stay matte for a really long time. So same with the Peach Perfect foundation. I would say they're quite similar in a way where they stay really matte and you don't need to touch them up a lot. So this is also a really good foundation. So the only thing with this one is they don't have a lot of shades. A lot of the shades, again, are pink. I think this is the second to last shade, which is shocking. Shocking, literally. Look, there's one more after this, and this isn't even that dark, but this is the only one that has like that yellow undertone. Almost every single one is like a pink neutral undertone, which is hard for people who have like yellow undertones because it is hard to find your shade. But if you can find your shade, that'd be great. This is a really good foundation. If not, the L'Oreal Pro Matte is pretty much the same thing. So the last one is probably no surprise. I know a lot of people love this foundation too. It's just like a go-to for me especially, and that's the Fit Me Matte and Poreless foundation in the shade 220. So this foundation is one that I go to basically on a daily basis. It's one of those foundations you can just put on and go. It's really, really good. It's not as, I wouldn't say it's as like long wearing and doesn't stay as matte as some of the other ones, but it is still a really good foundation. It gives like good medium coverage, and it has, the one thing I love about this foundation is they have so many shades. I think that's really great for a foundation like this that's so popular and so good. There should be pretty much a shade for everyone. And yeah, there isn't really much I can say about this. I've used this for a really, really long time. Like, it is a foundation that I use quite a lot. So yeah, I mean, I don't know anyone who hasn't tried this. This is a foundation I recommend to like most people. If they're looking for a good like daily foundation, this is like a really, really good one. Those are like the 5 that I wear on a daily basis. Like, I do really, really love those foundations. I'm going to mention one more foundation. It's not necessarily geared towards oily skin, but I'm going to mention it anyway because it is a foundation that I wear quite a lot too. Honourable mention, if you say. So this is the Ex1 Invisiwear foundation. Now, this foundation is really nice. I really love this foundation. It's not necessarily geared towards oily skin, but it is oil free. So with this foundation, it is great for those who have like yellow golden undertones in their skin. I would say it's similar, very similar to the Fit Me foundation, in a way where it's got similar coverage and similar staying power kind of thing. Similar in the way it looks on the skin. It's another one that I do wear on a daily basis, and I love the colour of this as well. All of the shades are yellow, which is really great. This is the shade 6. So yeah, and you can get this, I think you can get it in Boots stores now as well. It's down with trying drugstore foundations because I feel like the drugstore's really up in their game, and the foundations they're bringing out is really, really great. They're just as great as high end. I hope this video helped you guys, and you know, if you're struggling, try these foundations out and see what they're like. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.